Trump-Xi meeting highlights. U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping met in Busan, South Korea on October 30, 2025, to discuss trade tensions and other pressing issues. Here are the key takeaways from the meeting. 1. Tariff reduction. Trump agreed to cut tariffs on Chinese goods in exchange for Beijing's crackdown on illicit fentanyl trade and resumption of U.S. soybean purchases. The U.S. will reduce tariffs from 57% to 47%, with fentanyl-related tariffs being halved to 10%. Rare earths. China will suspend export controls on rare earth materials, addressing U.S. concerns about supply chain security. Trade deal. The two leaders discussed a potential trade deal, with Xi stating that a basic consensus had been reached. Trump said the dispute between China and the U.S. had been settled. Future meetings. Trump invited Xi to visit the U.S., and Xi accepted. Trump is expected to visit China in April next year. Nearest key outcomes. Suspension of tariffs. The U.S. agreed to suspend for 1 year its Section 301 investigation into China's maritime, logistics, and shipbuilding sectors, while export controls. Washington agreed to suspend a rule extending export restrictions to foreign companies half-owned or more by U.S.-sanctioned firms. Rare earths export. China will study and refine future implementation steps on rare earth exports too. Sir, reactions and analysis. Market response. Markets reacted positively to the news, with stock markets jumping between 2% 3.8% following the announcement. Analysts' views. Analysts say both leaders walked away with enough to claim a measure of success, but neither achieved a decisive win. The meeting bought both sides time and space to manage competition more predictably. 1-2. Your other developments. U.S.-India trade deal. Trump announced that a trade deal with India is forthcoming, stating, "I'm doing a trade deal with India, and I have great respect and love for Prime Minister Modi." U.S.-South Korea trade deal. Trump and South Korean President Lee Jae-myung finalized a trade deal, with Seoul agreeing to invest $350 billion in the U.S. Nobel Peace Prize nominations. Trump received nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize from Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet. There are 500 more words on the Trump-Xi meeting. Key outcomes of the meeting. The meeting between Trump and Xi resulted in several key outcomes, including tariff reduction. The U.S. agreed to reduce tariffs on Chinese goods from 57% to 47%, with fentanyl-related tariffs being halved to 10%. Rare earths export. China agreed to suspend export controls on rare earth materials, addressing U.S. concerns about supply chain security. Fentanyl crackdown. China pledged to crack down on the illicit fentanyl trade, a major concern for the U.S. Soybean purchases. China agreed to resume U.S. soybean purchases.